So, let me check if it is walking. Oh yeah, I will have a net break. Should log in onto F1 on PC, but I cannot just log in to multiple accounts at once. So, so is it walking? Yes, it is. Welcome everyone to round 8 of FWL Tier 3 at Imola. This 80-minute qualifying session followed by an 11-lap sprint race and a 32-lap 50% race. I think it's only me commentating today. I don't want to be wrong on that. Let me check if anyone else is joining the commentary box. For now, doesn't look like it. But yeah, as always, before we start commentating properly, let's review the sponsors that support F1, FWL, that supported FWL throughout the start of Season 8. David Racing will be providing £5 Amazon gift card to the winner of Tier 1. Tier 2, Tier 3. F1 the community side of this league. Make sure to check them out. Grip Finder supports over 40,000 sim racers by helping them find leagues, commentators and more. They will be providing an automobilist F1 print to the winners of all 3 tiers. Superfun Racing creates F1 merchandise and collectibles. They will be providing the winner of Tier 1 and 2 with a 2023 F1 season calendar of their choice. High Caliber Apparel, a US-based clothing brand, has a close relationship with F1 and will provide a custom champions poster for the winners of Team 1 and 2. Next Level Racing, our title sponsor, used to be our title sponsor for this season. And they will be providing an FGT cockpit to the winner of Tier 1 and 2, as well as a giveaway open to all drivers who complete at least 75% of races across the season for an FGT-like cockpit. Pistol Prizes are a competition website offering amazing motorsport-inspired prizes such as signed memorabilia, merchandise, GP tickets and more, and they will kindly provide a £10 per shirt to P2 volunteers. Lagara Motorsport, they will produce motorsport clothing across a range of collections ranging from travel hallmarks, tributes and special projects. They will be kindly providing one t-shirt of choice to the winners of all 3 tiers. Racetracks Art, where you can find 700 different layouts of racetracks from all over the world. Finished materials ranging from hood, carbon and neon lead, and it will be kindly providing a custom trophy to the winners of all 3 tiers. RCHJFX, graphics designer for Season 8. 60 Iconic, a company which provides F1 canvas art that can be displayed in any room. And they will be providing a canvas to the winner of Tier 1 this season. Reaction Time and Fun Podcast, hosted by your fellow Tier 1 driver, Big Homie. They will kindly be providing a $25 Xbox gift card to the winner of Tier 1. Mopush USA, our title sponsor for Season 8, they provide high quality gloves that can be used for karting and sim racing. and then we'll be providing a pair of gloves for the winner of each tier, a 60% off code for the P2 and P3 of each tier, and a 50% server-wide discount code. Formula Prints, finally, a company which produces a wide range of products such as phone cases, posters, mugs, and more. They will be providing the winners of Tier 1 and 2 with an F1 phone case of their choice. And that is your sponsors for Season 8. As Axion is currently on a lap. Let's see what lap Axion can set, and then we'll review the leaderboard for the current qualifying session, as we have 9 minutes left in this 80-minute long qualifying session. So Axion goes 10th fastest with a 118.678. Let's see who else is up, is improving their times. Max is, it looks like, currently on provisional pole position with a 116.0. As he crosses sector 1, he doesn't improve actually, but he's 1/10 up on his time, 1/10 down I would say on his time. Mikael then gets dropped to P3 after Petri sets a 116.516, going up into P2. Mikael in third with a 116.877. Kirkemlack is in fourth with a 117.047. Now Kirkemlack is enjoying his time in tier 3. Hugo in fifth with a 117.160. Danny Boy follows him on track with a 117.888. In 6th, Ducky F1 in 7th with a 118.045. Real Pixel in 8th with a 118.123. Postman reserving for Mercedes in 9th with a 118.313. Axion in 10th with a 118.678. High Caliber now crosses the line to set a 120.293 up into P11. Brandon with a 132.645 goes into P12. I think High Caliber just started the lap though. And Lewis on an invalid lap stays P13. Monkey now crosses the line to set a 120.416, goes behind their teammate in P12. Lewis invalidated still, and Zakiman then also setting a lap. Let's see what the McLaren driver can set around Imola. As he goes around the final corner, then gets what opened, crosses the line to go P6, 6th fastest for the McLaren driver, 117.406, and they have still got 7 minutes remaining. But right now, the pole position, provisional pole position, goes to Max, who's been staying there for quite a while in the session. It's Mikkel trying to get up there, but he has to gain 8/10 to possibly reach that Rebel driver. We go on board with Lewis, who has invalidated yet again, and I think he will pit most likely. As you know, it's the barrier from the exit of the first chicane. Doesn't damage their wing luckily, but they will have to pit because they don't have much fuel left, I would suppose. Suspense once again. Is anyone else on a lap right now? Zakiman is, as he improves further, goes up to a 117.189, still stays P6, and now he's dropped to P7 as Hugo spins from just like Lewis did a few minutes earlier. Real Pixel goes up into P4, improves by 1 second and goes up to a 117.040, lining up ahead of the teammate. Williams looking strong in this qualifying session for now. Petri also retires in this qualifying session. Who will stay P2? Probably confident he can stay P2. We'll see. Hugo then setting a lap as well, I think. But he's up on his time, it says. So he may just be on an out lap right now. Oh no, he's pitting because he doesn't have enough fuel remaining. So he's pitting. Kirko is on a lap. Kirko is definitely on a lap. Goes round Aquaman rally now. Max pit. Goes 74,000 faster in sector 2. Proceeds to go into sector 3 now, passes Zakiman. Zakiman is probably preparing to start a new lap or pitting. Final 2 corners, reverse at 1, reverse at 2. Onto the final few meters. Just wide opened to cross the line in P3. 1:16.797 from Kirk Luck is the Williams driver. Goes up into P3 for his first time actually. No, actually not his first time. He was P3 in Monza last season. But in qualifying, surely his first time, I think. Not a bad lap from them, I would say. As Axion is on another lap. Yes, he is. Goes careful onto this first chicane. Goes 6/10 faster in sector 1. It looks like the database performance has improved as it doesn't lag my PC anymore. Now Axiom proceeds to go to Aquaman Rally to complete his time in sector 2. Goes 7/10 faster in sector 2, goes on to the last chicane now. Proceeds to head to sector 3 and to end his lap as there are 3 minutes remaining. Now we'll see the last few runs being set by drivers as they start leaving the pits by now. But Axion is currently setting a lap. So he continues on. The asphalt opened, sets a 1:17.847, brings him up into P8. But now the real question is, who will set the best time out of those lap times, those current lap times? As in the leaderboard, from P1 to P5 they're all within a second, then they're up above a second or more. As we currently have in order on track Hugo, Real Pixel, then High Caliber, Daki, not Daki, Axion, then Postman, Daki, Monkey, Shadow, Mikkel, and Brandon, Danny Boy, and everyone else. Lewis. Then we have Zakiman. Then we have the Williams of Kirkman is going out, and finally the Red Bull of Max. So okay then. First driver on lap then is Real Pixel as he spins round turn 2 and gets passed by Hugo as he also spins now round turn 3 though. Max currently on an out lap, so we'll head on board with High Caliber as he's on a lap right now. So he improves 5/10, but he invalidates. So next up we have Postman. Sees 2/10 up. 2/10 up on his time. He's finding some traffic ahead of him though. He goes round sector 2 now and he spins as well. Lots of spins at the last few moments of quali here. Up with Real Pixels on board then. As he spun. So we'll head on board with Daki, who also has Mikkel behind them. Daki not improving indeed. As qualifying is still not over. Now it is Axion in 9th, Hugo in 6th, Daki Up next, the S8 opened. P9 for Daki as he goes above the teammate Mikkel. Mikkel up next. Daki with a 117.626. Mikkel with a 116.613 goes up into P3. Up next we have Danny Boy. 6/10 improvement in Sector 2, now goes up into Sector 3. For a 1, yes, it opened 116.890 goes up into P5. Up next we have Brandon, who has invalidated, so we'll go on board with Kirkmilakis. Still a few more drivers on the flying laps. Kirkmilakis, what lap time can he set? He opens the eyes wide, goes up into stays P4. Zakiman goes into P2. Max is now is behind Lewis, who goes up into P2, and Max takes then the pole position for the sprint race. Up to a 115.985 he goes as well. So he's the only driver who managed to go below 116. That's quite impressive. Then we have Lewis, then Zakiman, Petri, who didn't get dropped from further down the grid, only by Lewis and Zakiman. Then Mikkel, Kirkmilakis, Danny Boy, Real Pixel, Hugo, Brandon completes your top 10, and then we'll see the rest of the drivers outside of the top 10, how the grid looks. So, Daki in 11th, Action in 12th, Postman in 13th, Monkey in 14th, High Caliber in 15th. Quality results have been saved. So we're about to go into the sprint race. So who do you think is gonna take the win today? Still Max or someone else? Make sure to let me know in the chat. Wanna read what your opinions are on how the sprint and how the race will go. Personally, after seeing what happened today, I think Max has it's quite likely, but we never know. You never know. I mean, Jack started first, but he spun out from the lead, and he also lost the lead at some point. So you know, everything can happen in a race. Never be too sure of yourself. Top 3 will be Max, Zaki, Petri, Matt Copper says. So basically, Petri overtaking Lewis then. Huh. Well, I'm not gonna look at the race director now to avoid getting disconnected from the lobby, getting myself stuck into the race results screen, because it happened yesterday. Max win, battle for second. So basically, like yesterday was more. It was more like Friday race in FSU. That is like more like FSC, because yesterday I remember we didn't have a battle for second. We had more of a battle for first, even though it was not that close, but still. So we have everyone starting on mediums, Ducky starting on hards, no one starting on soft this time. I wonder why. Though Ducky starting on hards, that's quite. I mean, he can walk, because the mediums will get wear, so we'll have to see how it walks out. It's definitely not a bad one though. Max then starting the race in first, looking to slide all over the track. Lewis in second, then Zakiman in third, Petri in fourth, Mikkel in fifth, looking to make quite a start here, as he's currently as Lewis resets. I don't know if that's a penalty for resetting tracking information. Probably not, for common sense. But Mikkel was saying could be looking at making some moves already at the start because he knows that he is currently in quite a dangerous spot in the in championship terms. Kirkmanak is then in 6th, Danny Boy in 7th, Real Pixel in 8th, Hugo in 9th, Brandon in 10th, Ducky in 11th, Action in 12th, Postman in 13th, Monkey in 14th, High Caliber in 15th, and VER Bram. We had the same issue as yesterday, that people apparently forget to press spectate when they load in the lobby and not ready up. But here we go then, forming up into the grid then. Max takes the first grid slot, followed by Lewis, Zakiman, Petri, Mikkel, Kirkmanakis, Danny Boy, Real Pixel, Hugo, Brandon, Ducky, Axion, Postman, Monkey, and High Caliber. We have 6 drivers, actually 5 drivers, getting disqualified for not parking correctly in the grid slot. We should all be good now. Should all be good to start this race. Are we? Please. We're waiting for someone to load in. That's for sure. Oh no. Please don't tell me this is happening again. Oh no. It's not going well. Oh great. Migrating host, nice. I think I have disconnected, have I? Never mind. Mikkel disconnected. 5 relights then in the sprint race. His lights and away we go. Max Kennedy gets a great start. Lewis though tries to attack him, and Max actually gets a horrible start. Already up to P3. Mikkel's AI going up into P1 already, and at the back, coming into turn 1, we have a few cars going wide there, but it looks clear, and that tier 1 yesterday with a few contacts. Yeah, so far so good. Bram will probably have to retire there, as Danny Boy going 3 wide round the next corner. Danny Boy taking a bit of grass there. Wonder what happened to him. High Caliber, you go almost in last, as we have quite some contacts between the Ferraris and Kirkmanakis there. Kirkmanakis, who got dropped to P9 now. That's quite, from P6 to P9, probably didn't have the best of starts. Zakiman running in P7, then Brandon, Petri, probably say in order. Then we have Mikkel. With his AI, Max is already up into P2 after taking P3. Look at him. He basically got up into P1 already after basically getting not that good of a start, probably because he had Lewis in front of him, as we have more moves by Hugo on the 2 Ferraris. Hugo trying to tries to brake, and almost collects Bossuman in the process, as Bossuman sends it and spins the Ferrari around. As Max sets the provisional fastest lap time of a 122.988. Sorry for the confusion in the stream. So far so good though. So Max leads from Lewis, from Mikkel, from Real Pixel, then Petri looking to make a move soon on Real Pixel, then Brandon, Zakiman, Monkey. Kirkmanakis, Bram retires in the pits because he wasn't supposed to race. Kirkmanakis, Saxon, Hugo, High Caliber, Danny Boy, Postman, and Ducky. Wait, Bram is actually not retiring. He's actually racing. I didn't think he was demoted to tier 3. Jokes aside, I don't know why he's not, as Mikkel already going for a move on Lewis. Mikkel already going for a move on Lewis at the side by side in those 2 corners. They make contact. Look at them. Look at them as Petri tries to go P3 here. Lewis trying to keep that P2. Real Pixel looking for a gap on the inside. He has to wait, and he gets oh my god, what is going on? Zakiman spins due to the collision between Real Pixel and Brandon. What is going on in this race already? 118.683 is the fastest lap set by Max. But what we're looking at is Petri is already running in P2 from all of that carnage happening a lap earlier. Well, that was interesting, not gonna lie, as Mikkel is currently trying to defend from Lewis, who got dropped to P4. Brandon trying to overtake Real Pixel, and he manages to do so successfully. Up next we have Brett Monkey trying to go for a move on Real Pixel, but he has to wait behind. Wonder what happened between those three. All I saw was Real Pixel going a bit wide, colliding with Brandon, and then Zakiman then getting spun out, and is now out of the points in P13. Not really a good race, a good start to the sprint for this guy, as Kirkmanakis actually makes contact with, and also, what is going on for real in this race? Danny Boy, so Kirkmanakis makes contact with Hugo and he spins him round, and Danny Boy makes contact with High Caliber. Yeah. No, actually, it was High Caliber making contact with Danny Boy and spinning him round. But he probably, I don't know at this point what is going on. I don't even know what is going on at this point, for real. Just, what I can tell is Max managed to pull a 5-second gap already after all of what happened. As we have another spin from Lewis. Lewis, who gets dropped further down the grid in P10. Anyway, looking to make a move quite soon on Zakiman, but he has to wait behind not to avoid contact. As another spin from Daki. I don't know if it was contact or not. Probably spun on his own. He's lost an entire front wing from that incident with the barrier. Starting on hards wasn't the best idea. He's not gonna have fresh mediums though. As we have another yellow flag from Swede. Random yellow flag deployed for nothing in sector 2. Love to see that. As this train hasn't stopped yet, we have a train for P4 formed by Brandon and Real Pixel and Monkey. A small train, I would say. Move not looking likely right now, as random yellow flags getting deployed yet again in sector 2. Another spin from Hugo. His teammate is leading, but he is currently struggling to find traction. He's now dropped to P14 as Kirkmanakis passes into P13. Now trying to catch up to High Caliber. Daki proceeding to go onto the soft tire compound. I mean, not a bad one, but just 7 laps remaining. Sosman joins the lobby. Monkey the Brand going slow there and letting Axion overtake, but he actually doesn't want to see the move so easily. Ram proceeds to retire right now after Sosman joined. Axion then still side by side with Monkey the Brand. This is letting Zakiman catch up, as he has to defend from Lewis at the time being. Monkey going a bit wide. The Axion actually does go a bit wide and gets collected by Lewis. And wonder if he will report that, probably, I would suppose. Now gets dropped to P12, spins once again. Not a really good performance right now. We have, oh yeah, retired McLaren there at the pit exit. And Monkey the Brand going for a spin as well now. Another spin there. Lots of spins, not gonna lie. Brandon gets 3 seconds of the track limits. That's the first this weekend. Danny Boy though gets spins out at the start of sector 2. Can't remember the corner names, to be fair. And I should be ashamed of that, knowing I'm Italian, but yeah, it's not. They're not. It's not as easy to remember. I remember some, but not all of them. Not really, not experienced in corner names. This monkey goes for another spin. Not the best weekend for the Ferraris. Ferrari Academy, yet again, I would say, apart from high caliber running in P8, which equals 1 point. And Lewis getting dangerously close now to Zackyman, up to the point he can make a move up and anytime soon, as Monkey goes for another spin. He's about to get dropped to P16 and almost get lapped. His car is not liking the high temperatures right now. Oh yeah, 1 second. Let me fix that. As high caliber spins once again, by the way, as you've seen that. Let me know if the audio is fit. Okay. Lewis then so close to Zackyman. Can he make the move walk? We saw yesterday that despite having the air, some drivers were not able to make the move on certain drivers, but now he seems to be close to him as he gains, Postman spins, goes up onto the outside, but still cannot seem to get enough speed to make the move on the McLaren. As the McLaren compromises their active, Real Pixel spun ahead, letting Zackyman into the DRS range now. And Lewis goes for a spin now. Oh man, what a bad race from the AlphaTauri. Started P2, now finds himself into having at least 1 point, which is not that bad, but now it goes for another spin and almost getting outside of the points. Some points. Kirkminag is also spins now. Why are so many drivers spinning today? I swear, it's every lap someone spins. The action is given by the spins at this point. Zackyman makes the move on Real Pixel. I couldn't look at that because there was just Lewis spinning there and a few other drivers spinning, but Real Pixel got passed by Zackyman due to all of that due to the spin he's had a lap earlier. And Annie Atka there says things you'd love to see from RB Academy in the mud. Sarcasm. I mean, yeah. Although we have to say Max is leading, so and Brandon is in P4, so they when they have like 4 drivers in the points for the sprint, so everyone for them is in the points. So I wouldn't really say. But obviously, that's just a few minor points compared to the what the main race gives you. Real Pixel right now trying his best to get up to P5 and hopefully starting the race in that place, because obviously what the place you classify for the sprint race is your starting place for the main race, which is what you really need to think about, because if you start in high places, you're probably getting a higher chance of surviving turn 1 at the main race. You don't want a DNF in the main race, obviously. So as lap 11 is about to start in a bit, it's coming in lap 10. Lap 11 was started by Max in a few corners. As likely, Monkey didn't get lapped at the end, but you never know. Brandon meanwhile catching up to Mikhail for P3, but he has a penalty as well, which he has to think about, because that penalty is gonna compromise his final result if Zakiman catches up to him. Currently 5 seconds behind, but that gap could reduce massively, as it's now lap 11 out of 11. The final lap of this sprint race to then decide the starting grid for the main race. Brandon doesn't have the eyes of Mikkel, and I think we can say Mikkel for now is safe. The same cannot be said for Hugo though, who could lose the only point that he's gonna get from this sprint if he doesn't run away from Hugo, if he doesn't run away from Danny. Danny though, he's running away. Actually, not Danny. Hugo is running away from Danny right now. Though the gap is still closed. The gap is still closed between those two. Could Danny possibly get 1 point from this sprint? Or could Hugo keep that P8? Max meanwhile crosses the line, crosses the line and takes the sprint race win. Then Petri in second, Mikkel in third, Brandon in fourth, and Axion makes the move on high caliber at the end. Probably team orders. As Danny Boy spins and loses the chance for a point. Gets dropped to P11. Then Louis in 7th. Hugo in 8th. Axion in 9th. High Caliber in 10th. Danny Boy in 11th. Kirkhamlakis in 12th. Posthuman in 13th. Ducky in 14th. And Monkey in 15th. That is your starting grid for the 50% race, a 32 lap race around the Autodromo Enzo Dino Ferrari. That is your sprint results. Only 2 penalties getting assigned. Sprint results have saved this time. And we got them into the database. Now onto the main race then. There's then only 8 drivers getting points at Max, Petri, Mikkel, Brandon, Zakiman, Real Pixel, Lewis and Hugo. And the rest still has to score. Can they score? That's the question. For the main race, that will give you the top 10 places, well, score points here. So there is a better chance of scoring points. But you have to finish the race. So we wait for the drivers to sort the strategies out before We're going on for the formation lap right now. 1 light and 2 green. And here we go with formation lap. So, as for tyres, we have Max on mediums, then Petri follows him behind on mediums, Mikkel on mediums, Brendan on mediums, Zakiman on hard, Real Pixel on mediums, Lewis, who had quite a moment there with Axion. No, not Axion, Daki. And Bram there staying behind those two. As I was saying, Lewis then on hards, then Hugo on mediums, Axion on mediums, high caliber mediums, Danny Boy on mediums, Kirkmanakis on mediums, Postman on mediums, Darky on softs, Monkey Dibran on hards. Bram doesn't count because he isn't supposed to race. Sorry, Bram. No harm meant. Max looking to get up into his first place. Once again, as he spun out in the formation lap, he's almost collecting Petri there to get disqualified from the formation lap. Looks to be aggressive in the formation lap. Look at him, gliding all over the track. He wants to get to this race start as soon as possible. He wants to race. And so do all the other drivers. Oh, as we have a spin from Postman. Information lap, just like Max, pretty much. We're now all going to form themselves into the grid. Here we go then. Nice camera angle, not gonna lie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights for this Tier 3 Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Max gets a definitely better start for this race, but Petri already attacking him round the inside. Quite pulling already quite a nice gap to the back of the pack. Mikkel proceeding to go into P3, staying into P3. There's quite a contact between Williams and AlphaTauri there. And as we have another massive crash, oh my god, what happened there? Ferrari losing the front wing. Look at this, what happened here? 3 cars involved in a crash, apparently, as Axion lost part of the M plate. No safety car whatsoever. That's quite impressive. Is Daki going on the move on a high caliber letting him pass. It looks like Daki proceeding to go into P7. Danny Boy wants to get involved in the fight here. They make contact. They basically making the other pack behind wait. High caliber proceeds to let the Academy mate pass, and so does Postman, who's an intruder in the Ferrari Academy right now. He's also lost a end play. What happened at the start? I'm not gonna lie, that was quite unexpected. What happened there? There's quite a carnage, pretty much. It went smooth in the sprint, but it didn't in this race. As Max proceeds to set provisional fastest lap, 121.885. Danny Boy looking close to Monkey. Zakiman now getting a place on Hugo who pits. Graham pits to retire. Danny Boy looking close to make the move on Monkey. He does so now. Goes up into the inside. He waits though. He doesn't want to make contact just yet. He's already had enough of carnage, I would say. Because I mean, I still have no idea what happened there. So that's the question. That's what I'm questioning right now. What happened? I couldn't see it clearly. What happened? I only saw some drivers getting damage and so on, as he's so close to making contact with him, like we saw previously. in the sprint. The two drivers got collected there at Aquaminerale. And this meanwhile getting closer to his teammate, and Mikkel getting closer to Petri. He almost was below a second there. And if he gets the DRS, Petri knows he doesn't need Mikkel into his DRS range, otherwise it's the end. Mikkel will start pushing. 119.761, that's the fastest lap time set by Max. He's already pulling almost a 2-second gap to Petri, but EIS amount is still there. If those drivers can manage that well, they probably will get nice places here. As Lewis wanting to get past their teammate, even though the teammate doesn't agree. And Lewis will have to wait behind for the moment, letting Herkamlakis catch up in the meantime. And Danny Boy meanwhile still close to Monkey, but not yet able to make a move, as Postman is basically hosting a train of 5 cars here, as Axing getting the chance for a move on high caliber, but he's waiting behind for the moment. Zaki Man almost loses it round that corner, and he tried to correct it, but it wasn't enough. Danny Boy also spins, and Lewis now gets past his teammate. Poor Zakiman. Real Pixel now getting past Sirocco, Axin Sirocco. Proceeds to hunt down high caliber for that P10 for that single point. The normal race gives you. Brandon though, looking closer to Lewis, doesn't want to get past him though, and this is letting Kirmanlakis get quite a nice amount of time gain on those two. So he's a caliber who spins round turn 1 and gets collected by Real Pixel. Does he have damage, Real Pixel? No, he doesn't. High caliber though now pushed to P12. Lots of spins. Maybe due to medium traction control. I'm pretty sure that is why. But of course they're still learning. Impossible and still managing to drive without an end plate. Not hard to do, but still. Standing Boy going around the outside on high calibers. We have a spin from Zakiman at turn 2. Almost getting dropped to P15 by Hugo. Skirkumnagis has a spin round Aquaminerale and loses the chance to make the move on both AlphaTauris as Daki passes him for P6. And keeps the move for keeps the place for now on Monkey. So Max improves his fastest lap time to a 119.412. Michael's losing some time now on Petri, still 1.9 the gap between the Haas and the Mercedes. Monkey now looking for the move on the Williams with that P7. He's on pressure. He's on tires which should last more than the mediums, so he's still not able to get the move done quite right. Skirkumnakis runs away slowly, but he does. So that's Real Pixel from Axion, who's looking to get him away from the less than a second gap, as Daki has a spin there. Gains the Kirkumlakis the plays once again. The P6. Daki also looking at it, also lost a dent plate, and Petri and Danny Boy now, both of the Haas at the same time almost, gain 3 seconds for track limits, which is not going to help them towards the end of the race. But unless they can appeal that, I don't see Petri. I don't see Matt Copper's prediction coming true, even though it's still up 6 out of 32. But Petri could massively get his race ruined. Should have something happen, such as safety car or something, around the final few laps. Of course, we never know how the race is going to go, but Real Pixel gets past Postman as he has to defend from Sirocco, who's a bit further away now. As Daki pits. This softs are not the best idea to start on, as he goes for the mediums. Gets a new wing as well. It actually looks closer now to Postman. Hopefully trying to make a move, or hopefully for him trying to make a move. The Lewis is getting closer to Mikkel now. As you can see on the leaderboard, the gap is getting definitely closer. He could look to make a move with the IS. Could look to make a move with the IS with that P4, P3, the podium zone here. He's looking likely, no. He's looking likely for Rocco to make a move on Postman. That's what open for the Ferrari. Could be looking likely here. He burns some EIS. Can he make the move stick? No, he cannot, as he doesn't try to make the move either. He stays behind the Mercedes driver with that for currently standing in P10, letting his academy mate catch up. Danny Boy, who's looking to be way faster as he tries to go for the move, but stays behind. This is a battle which is probably going to last for quite a long time now. Oh, almost going a bit over the track limits there, but manages to avoid a warning, I think. I don't want to check because I'm scared of getting, I'm afraid of getting stuck once again into the race results page, and then I will have to rejoin. Lewis now looks way closer to Mikkel than he did earlier. Still, that cannot make the move happen. And Mikkel, look at how much Lewis is pushing him now, to the point he's catching up to Petri quickly now. Sirocco is definitely trying to go for the move now. He moves up to the outside last minute after Postman chooses the inside. Stays behind though for the moment. Danny Boy almost making contact with the Ferrari ahead. He stays behind for the moment. Danny Boy knows he doesn't have to ruin his race like this. Because if you get damaged, literally you ruin your whole race. Unless there's a safety car later, but you never know if there will be. As Real Pixel meanwhile gets 3 seconds of track limits, as Zekiman has another moment, has a spin once again, and he gets lapped now. And Sirocco now loses the place on Danny Boy due to the pro accident he had at Aqua Minerale. Could have been Tim Orders, but I am not sure. As Danny Boy now looking close to the Mercedes ahead, but Lewis is also looking close to his teammate, to the Mercedes ahead as well. That's Mikkel. Lewis gets 3 seconds of track limits. Mikkel though got didn't collide by himself. Lewis collided with him and almost sent him into Brazil, basically into the barriers. Mikkel though didn't lose that much of time to Lewis, as Lewis is still on hard, so the hard still have to get somewhere on them to possibly be good enough to make a possible move happen, as Danny Boy looking close for a move as well on Postum, and both Mercedes having to defend quite hard right now. That lost both of them quite a lot of time, Mikkel and Lewis I'm talking about, to Petri. And Danny Boy almost looks for a move, but almost decides to wait, almost really close to making contact with the Mercedes. Zekiman spins once again, not the best race for Zekiman. As this is a tile race as well, as you can, we're able to decide whoever will win the title by this from now on, as it's basically the third last race. As Mikkel proceeds to go past Lewis once again, and Brandon joins the party now. They make contact, Mikkel gets sent to the off-track area. Lewis wanted to get involved as well, but Brandon makes a double overtake on both of them, and basically tells them goodbye and enjoy the battle you're having. Brandon doesn't really want to get involved in this, but Lewis now gets past Mikkel. Mikkel though still hanging just on the outside and waits behind for the time being. Danny Boy still not able to make the move on Postman, as Action has another moment there. Spins, loses the place on high caliber. Look at Mikkel, how close he is to Lewis right now. Almost making contact by how close they are to each other. He breaks a bit earlier, not so as not to make contact. Stanley Boy gets 3 seconds for track limits. You can tell how much he's pushing for making the move on Postman. Ducky also gets the same time penalty for track limits. Mikkel now going for the move on Lewis once again. And now he's able to breathe fresh air for the time being. Because Lewis though doesn't look too happy. Oh, and both Danny Boy and Postman now make contact as we speak about that. As we speak about Mikkel getting the move down on Lewis. And Danny Boy gets the place. High Caliber does the same. And Postman now looking quite in a dangerous spot here as they both try to go side by side, and Postman almost collects High Caliber, who has to lock up not to make contact with Danny Boy. And now Postman, look at him, he gained the place again on both the Alfa Romeo he has, but now has a poor exit and has to take the position to Danny Boy once again. Saxon is catching up to this group. These battles definitely helped him catch up once again. And Lewis now looking close once again. Look at him. He's making contact, looking desperately to get past and pull away from Mikkel. But now he didn't have that much good exit. As Axel makes the move on High Caliber, and he collides with Postman as well in the process. Axion had quite a sender at the last chicane and makes contact with Postman in the process. I think that will probably be an FIA review right there, knowing the drivers. Lewis still close to Mikkel, still doesn't want to give up on this move. He's committed to it, you can tell. As Postman has to go into the pits to fix his wing, but also to go for a possible set of hards. In fact, he does. In a still set you can go for as you have the one tire rule to follow. And will get dropped behind Ducky in P14. Lewis meanwhile not letting Mikkel go away so easily, as he's still within the IS range of Mikkel. Almost has a moment. Look at how much he's pushing right now. He has barely any IS left as well. He has the IS for Mikkel once again. Mikkel does have the IS, I think. No, he doesn't. On Brandon. So this will be much easier for Lewis. Mikkel not necessarily in the best spot right now in the Navatari sandwich. They could play tactics here with him to get the move done. As Brandon is a medium, Lewis is a hard, so Lewis should feel a bit faster now than Mikkel. Now that the mediums get a bit of wear, start falling off a bit. Looking to go for the move. Now Rackham Nirali almost makes contact. Look at him. He basically wants to get past, and he's trying to be aggressive, but at the same time he's trying to be careful as well. So you can see almost collecting Mikkel there. Rackham Nirali. Still close. Not enough to make a move yet, though. As he spins out! He spins out of the last corner! That's the same mistake Postman did in the formation lap, but that's what happened in the race now. And that's what you don't want to happen to yourself. Because spinning in the main race, and when fighting for a position, is really painful. And now Kirkman gets that P5, pull 3, but still kind of managed to get Lewis away from that 1 second gap. That from the DRS range. Sky Caliber is the second driver to pit after Postman. Talking about medium runners. Nice T-poses from the mechanics there. Nice Ferrari crew. This Ferrari crew. Sky Caliber goes for a set of hards. Will now rejoin the track behind Ducky. Lewis now managing to catch up to Kirkman-Lakis. Could he possibly send it as Petri pits? Petri tries the undercut. Petri tries the undercut on Max, even though he's 6 seconds ahead. Or the overcut on Brandon. But I would think he tries the undercut, rather. Action there. With 3 seconds of track limits, Kirkman-Lakis heads into the pit. Mikkel also pits. Petri basically started a train reaction here. As both of them go for, all of them go for the hards. Let's see where Petri will rejoin the track ahead of Monkey, just slightly. Monkey will pixel past Mikkel, as Danny Boy also pits now. Kirkman-Lakis will rejoin the track in front of the Ferrari of Sirocco, and Danny Boy will rejoin the track behind Hugo and slightly ahead of Ducky, who hasn't pit yet. I mean, he hasn't made another stop yet because the mediums are not going to last that long. As Ducky is now coming round, and he's at a poor exit from the poor rejoin to the track from the pit exit, and Ducky managed to get past. Max now pits. Max now coming into the pits. This will be so crucial for him to get it right, as Petri is currently in the last chicane. I think Max may slightly keep the place here. The undercut, yeah, the undercut is walking because you are 6 seconds ahead, so obviously would have walked for him. Lewis, though, is staying out. He's gaining the first place on Max. Brandon may not be so sure about keeping the place, as Petri will gain the place on him. So will Monkey, who hasn't pit yet. As Real Pixel gains 5 seconds for spinning in the pit lane, and goes for hards as well. Action also comes into the pits now. We join the track in front, slightly in front of Zakiman. Zakiman, who's getting lapped by Postman as well now. So I would say rather in front of Postman. Just slightly though. It's coming around the main straight now. He has to get a nice exit here if he doesn't want to compromise his plays on Postman. Postman coming around the pit exit now, and Action doesn't keep the place lightly. This is why you have to think about, because the pit straight is so long that that if you stay out you gain more places, but obviously you compromise your tires. As Monkey still staying out, so is Lewis. Probably trying to go here for an alternative strategy. They're on hard, so obviously they're still a lot longer out. Mikkel meanwhile is catching up to Brandon. So he's Danny Boy to Ducky. Looking close. But not too close to make the move right now. Same, actually not the same, because Ducky has managed to catch up to Real Pixel, who's on fresh tires. Danny Boy meanwhile is trying to stay within him because he's on fresh tires as well, so he can possibly get up to Real Pixel. As Max goes even faster now, 119.063 is the new fastest lap time to beat if anyone wants to get an additional point next to their name. As Mikkel with DIS now can make the move on Brandon. Brandon made the move earlier on both Lewis and Mikkel. He's now making the move. He's now getting passed by Mikkel possibly. As they both go side by side, they made the same incident as earlier. Mikkel gets spun round. And still keeps the P6 though. But we'll have to be careful because his tires will not like that. As Lewis got dropped to P2 after Max managed to make the move on them. Danny Boy looking to get the move on Ducky and gets the move done even before the corner. Now catching up to Real Pixel. As Lewis now goes into the pits. Lewis does go into the pits now. I mean, his race was a big compromise there after having quite a moment though with Mikkel throughout this race. Let's see if Mikkel can get past him or not. This will be rather close, don't gonna lie. Mikkel is right there on the main straight. As he manages to get past him right just by a few tenths here. That probably helped him a bit, as Lewis also has to warm up the tires, but he's on mediums. He is on mediums. And that's gonna make life a bit harder for Mikkel now. The Lewis has also a penalty, so it isn't really I mean, he will have to push if he wants to get that P5 at least. Get behind their teammate. And Ducky also coming into the pits now. 4 hards. Ducky going for a 2-stop after having quite a good race. The first few laps got damaged and will had to do a 2-stop as a must. And we'll rejoin the track in P14, lapped as well by Max. Now Lewis already getting closer and closer to Mikkel, but he will have the eyes. The Monkey now comes into the pits, by the way, so he will get dropped behind those two, possibly be ahead. We'll say be ahead of Real Pixel, but just slightly. As we have a spin from High Caliber round Aquaman Rally. Lewis now tries to go for the move on Mikkel. This turn has been so bad, so unlucky for Mikkel. Now Lewis manages to stay behind though. Doesn't want to make any more contacts. Seems like turn 1 is quite a curse for Mikkel. You know, it's always had incidents with the two AlphaTauris at that corner. Now Lewis. Will he go for the move here? No, he won't. He knows. He doesn't need to make any mistakes because he can pull away easily with mediums, with fresh mediums. Look at how close he's getting right now. Side by side, stays behind. He will probably try the move again at the main straight. There's plenty of EIs to use. Mikkel not so not quite with Mikkel. 50% for Mikkel. As he actually tries to go for the move quite early. I would expect he would try for DRS, but no. And no one gets the DRS apparently. Oh. So the game failed to calculate who gets DRS. Okay. Mikkel, though, still managed to go for the move here. Stays behind though. Waits behind and makes contact. A bit of contact. Doesn't send Lewis round though. So Lewis must be grateful for that, I would say. As we have a spin from Danny Boy. At the last corner. This last corner already caught three drivers today. Mikkel still close, still not giving up, even though he's on the 6th lap all hard and he's fighting fresh mediums, he still doesn't give up onto getting that P4. I mean, it's 12 points, so I guess it makes sense, but look at Lewis right now, struggling with traction to get out of the Aquaman Rally section. Hugo with 3 seconds of track limits. A lot of drivers getting those penalties, so it won't make much difference, but it will against those who have no penalty. So far as Mikkel going on the inside of Lewis right now. Lewis still hanging by, and he will get the IS on him. Still side by side. On the main straight, gets the move down with the IS, EIS. And gets it down once again. Kaminakis in all of this is catching up quite rapidly to possibly make the move on both of them like Brenton did earlier. Double overtake on both of them. I mean, wow, look at him. 10-second gap to both of them. Probably say goodbye to both of them. Let them fight. Well, however long they want, but no, because a safety car is deployed due to Ducky crashing out. I don't know if that was on purpose, but he did crash out. Oh yeah, right in the wall. Right in the wall. It's right in the wall. Oh, and Hugo goes for a spin. Hugo does go for a spin onto the safety car period. He could lose the plays on Real Pixel. No, he won't, because he rejoins the track right in time. Now, here's the question. How many drivers will bid for softs now? Because there's the possibility to bid for softs, but the mediums are still faster. So whoever bid for mediums now, unless they want to go for softs, I think they will bid. But certainly the hards will. The hard runners will. As both Mikkel and Kakamlakis go for softs, Monkey stays out because he's on fresh mediums. Hugo for used mediums. Real Pixel for he almost gets times the double stack right, but gets a bit held up there. Serves his 5-second time penalty, and didn't turn a cone likely because he can, because it's scripted. It would be cool though if your pit crew could actually make those kinds of mistakes. Imagine. Just imagine. As he goes for softs as well. So some drivers didn't pit though. That's actually that's actually quite interesting. Because I would think drivers such as Max, Petri and Brandon would pit knowing they're on almost old hards, but I guess they wanted to stay out knowing probably they don't have enough tires, I would say. So this will look interesting now, because they'll have probably to fight with those top runners who, I have to say, going on softs is kind of risky, but it's doable, because depending on how long the safety car stays out, you could actually make them last and not fall off. But as we saw yesterday, these softs, and as we saw today already, after 5 laps, they die. So right now, the race currently, as of right now, would last around 9 laps. So now we'll get some bit of action, I guess. As I think the safety car is probably going in either next lap or lap 26. Depends on how long drivers take to catch up. But in any case, it's going in automatically by lap 26. You cannot stay out for more than 5 laps. That's how the game is scripted. Which is unrealistic, because in real life he would stay out for more than 5 laps. We saw that at Monza last year. Let's not remind ourselves about that. But yeah, as the order as it stands is Max from Petri, from Brandon, as we have Zakiman in the mix as well, from Lewis, from Monkey, then Mikkel, Kirkham is Danny Boy, Axion, Hugo, High Caliber, Real Pixel, Postman, and Zakiman. Darky for DNF crashed out in sector 2, and this is why we have a safety car right now. But I think the safety car will be in this lap. So will be 8 laps of racing. These softs will just be able to last, but will fall off around the end of the race. So we have a spin from Brandon there. Brandon loses the place on Mikkel as well. That helped Mikkel massively, but also doesn't help Brandon so much, as he gets the place on Mikkel now. Gets the place on Mikkel back, but he will have to wait. He won't be able to get the place on Monkey, as Monkey lets him pass though. Monkey lets him pass as he almost makes contact with... No, who was that? Oh, it was Postman. Never mind. Postman decided to retire in the middle of the pack. Almost made contact with a few other drivers. I wonder why he retired. As the safety cars, as I'm saying, it's in this lap. Safety car is in this lap. Max will proceed to restart this race. We had quite some controversies last week in that ticket, but now it looks to be better this time, I would say. I mean, I'm neutral on that, really. Here we go, green light, and back to racing we go, with Brandon already making a move on their teammate. There's someone lagging quite badly there behind. That's Monkey trying to go for a move on. Oh, look at that, almost making contact with Mikkel at the back as Axing goes for a spin and he's missing a full wing. Not a good start, good restart for Axing. Also knowing it's the end race pretty much. As both the Kirkham and Monkey go for a spin. Kirkham loses his whole wing. It's already chaos. The safety car restart in Tier 3 for FWL Season 8 at Imola. Zakiman apparently rejoins the... now gets past Possum, and he's probably 2 laps down, as he said in Discord. Mikkel already managing to get up to Lewis. Those two have fought for the entire race now. They haven't given up since the start. And already at the front, Max pulling a 2-second gap from Petri. They're both on the same tyres, though different tyre age. That is helping Max a bit. And the DRS will also be enabled. It will be a longer race than... shorter than a sprint, but still longer race than what we would usually get. As Mikkel still doesn't have the DRS like anyone else. Waiting to go for the move. Same for Hugo on Danny Boy. This is basically a close train of cars for the P3, the podium. Jackson Pitts. I wonder if he will go for softs, probably, if he has these softs as an available tyre selection. As Mikkel gets ghosted for a moment, tries to go for the move on Lewis. He makes contact with them. Lewis, both the place on Danny Boy, who's looking to catch up to Brandon, but Lewis is still hanging just by. Mikkel waiting because they could make contact, and in fact they do, as Hugo tries to get in the mix as well. Round Aquaman rally they go, as Mikkel lost about 3 places from that. He's still trying to go for the place on Danny Boy. He waits behind though, and that all of that let Real Pixel catch up to the SPAC. I think we'll see quite some moves now as Danny Boy spins, and I think he got damage also from oh no, he didn't, from hitting Mikkel there, as the IS got enabled now, so the drivers will have the IS from once they pass from the IS activation zone next lap. Lewis looking close to his teammate once again. His teammate still managing to watch behind what is happening, man. Now it's his turn to see the position or to keep it. Depends what he wants to do. Does he want to keep the podium? Does he want to give his teammate the podium? And I think we'll be free battling between those two right then, as none of them looks to be wanting to see the position. And Hugo is also catching me out. Hugo, who had quite not a good race out of the points, now is running in P5 with that safety car restart. Helped him quite a lot, but Mikkel is already catching up 3/10 behind him. As Lewis is closer to Brandon than he was the whole race, now going side by side with him. Brandon letting him pass. Doesn't look likely though for Hugo to let past Mikkel here, so Mikkel will try to get the place by force, trying to get slipstream with DRS. It doesn't look likely for Mikkel to get the move done quite right now. He has to desperately get past his academy mate, but he can't right now, so he has to defend quite hard from Mikkel as he goes for a spin and probably lock tires on the curb, but that definitely won't help him at all now. He's still in the points, but he lost a big chance for the podium here, knowing that Lewis has a penalty, and so does Petri, and Petri is not that far away right now. Petri going for the move on Max for the lead of this Grand Prix. He has a penalty, but look at Petri, had a 1 lap all tires. He doesn't care, he's still going for the move. Lewis catching up behind. Meanwhile, he gets a poor exit. Max gains the lead once again. I didn't expect that at all, that's why I was looking behind, but I didn't expect that. Lewis going for the move now. He tries to send it around the penultimate corner. They make contact. This sends Lewis to a poor exit. Brandon managing to catch up. Mikkel probably not having enough tires right now, but he's still trying to hang on and hope that something will happen. Lewis really close meanwhile to the has of Petri. Can he make the move stick on the outside? He goes. This was quite a bad move earlier on in the race, but no contact so far, and Lewis has to stay behind. Look at what happened pretty much. In a span of 1 lap, Petri managed to get that close to Max. If it wasn't for the penalty, probably would have been more exciting to know who would have taken the lead and won. But you never know. Even if you have a penalty, you only need to gain 3 seconds to drive it behind and then you keep the place, which is what Petri is not doing right now. Speaking about gaps, right now, yeah, Mikkel is not that. Actually, he is close to gain a possible podium here. All of that is getting messed up by Brandon, as he has to get past Brandon desperately if he wants to get more than a P3, I guess, for him. Zakuman 118.575 for the McLaren driver, who, apart from all the mistakes he's had, at least he has the fastest lap, and no one is getting it. That means as Mikkel going really close to the off-track area there on the outside, gets the place on Brandon. Petri now loses the place on Lewis, is looking to get a Rebel Academy 1-2 here. Though Mikkel now go past Brendan, and now is the time for Petri to really push here, because Mikkel will take no hesitation here to catch up to the Haas ahead, and if he battles, it will be even worse for him, as Mikkel's already 1.4 behind. Brandon though not giving up yet. Real Pixel, same for him. Hugo, same for him. Everyone else at the back pretty much not really close, but yeah, from P1 to P8 they're all close to each other. Oh, as I heard someone go for quite a... Yeah, Real Pixel that was. Real Pixel didn't get quite a good exit at that criminal rally, so he lost the DIS range on Brandon. Petri now going once again for the move on Lewis. Lewis still trying to keep it. Going for the outside. Mikkel in the DIS range now of those two. His Max sets an even fastest lap, 118.308. That's an answer to Zakiman's fastest lap time. Even if it's a 16 lap all ties, it still sets fastest lap times. Look at him. As Petri still trying, it's the final lap by the way, final lap right now. And right now, Mikkel knows he has to make no mistakes. He's currently in for a P2 here. As Petri going for the move on Lewis right now. Because this matters for P3 between Petri and Lewis, because they know they will get dropped. But whoever stays ahead of those two gets the P3. So will the P3 go to Lewis or Petri? He won't go to Petri as he loses traction around the I think Variante Alta that is. I may be wrong though. But that is a really wrong mistakes he's done. That is not what he would have wanted. He's almost out of the points as well. He keeps 1 point barely though. Oh my, I can feel his pain right now as he spins once again, not scoring any points either in all the races he's had. As Max crosses the line, takes the win of the Imola Grand Prix, but after an amazing race, Lewis gets dropped to P4, Mikkel gets P2, Brandon P3, Lewis P4. What a last few laps we had. As Real Pixel gets P5, then Kirkham in P6, Hugo in P7, Monk in P8, Icarlib in P9, Danny in P10. Petri had a really perfect race from the start to the final lap, as Spain costing him the entire points here he would have got. Oh my, that must have been the worst heartbreaking finish in FWL history. Oh my, Saxon goes for a spin as well, and Zakiman ends up P13. I would vote Petri as driver of the day just because of what happened to him. I don't want to be in his spot right now. I know how it feels. Waiting for Zakiman to cross the line there, and that's it for Tier 3. Monkey Brand is good as driver of the day by the game for the most amount of places gained, but my driver of the day goes to Petri. Definitely to Petri, just because of the race he's had, and due to a mistake he's lost everything. That's why it matters. That's why I always say never give up. Anything can happen in a Formula 1 race, from bad from good to bad things. A mistake, that's why I always say keep getting focused, because a mistake can ruin your entire race, and that's a mistake. That's the kind of mistake I was talking about. But congrats then to, and also the NF obviously, even if you get terminal damage. But anyway, that's Max then taking the lead, taking the win of Tier 3 at Imola, then Mikkel in second, and Brandon in P3. Lewis gets dropped to P4 due to the 3 seconds he's had. That's your final results then. As the race results have been saved. So we are all the results into the database. So I think that's it then for Tier 3. We'll be having Tier 2 in around 18 minutes. Thank you for joining us for Tier 3, and we'll see you in 18 minutes for Tier 2. Make sure to tune in for that race as well. Bye, everyone. For now, obviously.